Hello friends, myself Chetan Sir. Today we learn standard 9 English medium chapter number 2. In previous lecture, in this chapter number 2, we study about matter and separation of matter, properties of matter, solution. In previous 2-3 lectures, we learn about how can you make solution, concentration of solution. So in this lecture, we have to study how can you separate component presence in mixture. Means you have to given some mixture and say that separate out all components in presence of mixture. So understand this sentence with example. Suppose salt and sand. So mix each other and take, after mixing, produce substance or given substance is known as mixture, and this mixture presents in two components. So we can say that in this mixture two components are present. One is salt, it means NaCl component, another is sand, therefore is a second sand component. So how can you separate this sand and salt mixture out of two component? How can you separate? So in this topic we have to learn this method, separation of component presence in mixture. So in regular life we have to apply some simple method to separate out this component of mixture. For example, rice and rocks. So some rocks, small particles of rocks are mixed in rice or any wheat, rice, any. So mixing this and separate, how can you separate? So by simple methods can apply to separate in our regular life. So separation of this mixture by a simple method. But now today in this lecture we have to learn ink or a dye. So ink is made of water plus some dye particles are mixed in, so created and produce ink. So how can you separate this ink from this dye? So learn this topic and understand step by step. So topic name is separation of component of a mixture. For example, so salt is a one component and sand is other. So how can you separate by this component? So we can apply for easy method separation. We can see both particles or both component in neck eyes so easily separated by simple method. Now next topic is how can you separate ink from this dye. So topic name is how can you obtain color compounds from blue or black ink. How can you obtain color compound? Color compound, it means that from blue or black ink. So in this topic we have to learn how can you obtain color compound. It means this color compound name is dye. So in this marker use black ink, so blue marker, so using blue ink. So how can you separate this ink out of this mixture? So dye compound, it means color compound separated from blue or black ink. So separation of this process, first arrangement of some instrument. So arrangement of this instrument is first you have to take some stand to apply apply heat. So first take stand and one burner. So stand is a burner. In this burner produce or apply heat on the use of burner. In this stand we have to put one beaker. So this beaker in filled with water and in upper part of this beaker put watch glass and this watch glass and ink. So put on a watch glass and in watch glass put ink or a blue, black, any color ink you can put on top of beaker on in this watch glass on beaker and in watch glass put ink. Let's start with applying heating and how process will be start. So first we have to apply heat. Applying heat, so temperature will be increased continuously. Temperature is continuously increased by applying heating. So particles of this water contain absorb this heat and kinetic energy of this particle is increased. Therefore, this kinetic energy moving particle speed is fast and this water temperature will be rise continuously. So effect on this ink. What should be effect of this temperature on ink? So ink is a solution. So solution is made of two parts. Solute and solvent. So solvent is more portion. Solute in a solution is a less portion. So ink is made when this ink are dissolved in water. It means ink particle are dissolved in water and get ink solution. So this solution put on this. So apply this heat. Water is a boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius and boiling point of ink substance is a more than water boiling point. So first which are evaporate? Water because less than ink boiling point. So water content less than ink boiling point. So water is evaporate. It means this process means component will be separated by which method? So the answer is evaporation. Which method are used to separate this component? Evaporation. So evaporation, solute particles, which means water portion, can be evaporated easily by applying some normal heat. So in this watch glass, we have to observe that water particle is continuously up, it means evaporate, and in watch glass only ink particles, it means dicolor particles, color component. So only color component can be seen after some time continuously apply heat. So on a watch glass only color particles can be seen. Therefore, this color compound can be separated by evaporation method, and in a ink solution, in a color, in a dye, or in a blue, black, any color ink solution contain water plus color compound. So water is easily evaporated by normal temperature. It is normal rising temperature, and it is not this temperature evaporation. Therefore, in particles, it means solid particles of this color region can be obtained on this watch glass. So in this method we have to separate. In this method we have to separate color ink compound on a dye. So next, how can you separate cream from milk? So same method here. One is solid substance dissolved in liquid. So in similar method, how can you separate cream from milk? So another activity. Cream from milk. So same method. In a one stage tube, have to taken milk contain more portion of cream, and this stage tube are centrifuge. Centrifusion means is a process name to separate component. So in a separate centrifusion, which process are, so understand by simple example. Suppose this is a test tube, and in test tube we have to taken milk contain high percentage of cream. So adding this test tube and this test tube are put in a centrifusion machine. Centrifusion machine means rotate continuously. In this machine, which process are applied? So this test tube are fixed at a stand and rotate continuously around this high speed. So in this high speed, so milk contain cream particles. So cream particles is a heavy weight. So rotate continuously. So the heavy particle at and position of this test tube is cross, not straight, not linear, cross, bending position. So bending position continuously rotate. So big between heavy particles are collect on a bottom of a test tube, and low particles, this means above part. So in this centrifusion, in this process, apply this test tube and separated cream and milk in this centrifusion process. So this process can be applied to cream from milk. You can also visit near around milk bar, milk dairy. So in this same process are used as a high level and high format. So centrifusion is only applicable for small level, it means school level or laboratory levels. So cream from milk separated by centrifusion methods. Another, this centrifusion method, the application of this is in which field? So also this centrifusion process are used on a diagnostic laboratories to separate bloods and urines, bloods and testing of bloods and urine sample in a diagnostic laboratory. And another, this method is also used on a washing machine to clean clothes. So this method is on using cloth. So learn here how can you separate component of mixture. So two activity we can learn here. First is how can you separate color compound or a dye compound in a blue or black ink, and next cream from milk. How can you separate cream from milk? So understand, in next lecture we have to study more method to separated mixture or separated compound of a mixture. So write down in notebooks and prepare it. Thank you friends.